What's up, man? This is my last video. Basically, I'm kind of uploading. I gotta go through tape problems. I have to go with a whole bunch of other problems like this and this problems. I had to go through meeting with people and people destroying me type of problems with those people and stuff like that. I don't know. I went through a lot for a reason being in America, and especially the people here. Like in America, it's mad weird. It's just a bunch of white people. And white people, there's different categories of white people too, by the way. And there's a bunch of black people, African Americans, but there's like a mix, like Africans with like different Creole and stuff like that. And there are a bunch of Asians, as you know, factor in half. It's rare to meet Japanese people, and there are a bunch of Latinos, like the set on foot, but the islanders, the Alaskans, and the people in Hawaiian, the natives and stuff like that, completely different from who they are. It's mad funny, actually. And the factoring side of what I've been learning from here, from Publix era to Northborough to PS 2131, 74 Cardozo, Hofstra, other schools outside, which I don't mention, which I don't want to kick it out problems and something like that, and the dumb stuff. And I don't know, man. I've just been too nice to these people for so long that they've been rewarding me for forever, And but the thing is, what gets me mad is that the fact that once the time and everything catches up to what I have to find in confined areas, especially with this home and stuff like that, and other stuff, and outside, to be honest with you, in real life, like, have I done this? Nah, it's not considered anything. It goes vice versa. The guy takes my stuff, I take his stuff, and I work for him, he works for me, and stuff like that. And most of the time, it was really a good time actually hanging out. But I don't know, man. I have no complaints or anything, but it's just that it constantly finds itself to repeat, which I am having a problem with sharing and stuff, which I don't want to. And closest thing to, I really don't like sharing stuff like that, just because these days it's been kind of not making sense. And some of the stuff, like especially for airplane view, where I'm from, right? Airplane, trucks, and cars and humans have like the worst boats and stuff like that have the worst reactor problems, where it's not really pollution, it's just a very caucus of sound that's like really causing a lot of problems. Some people like to sleep in a thing, but for no reason, you know what I'm saying? If the trucks are driving, trucks are very good for human mind, actually, like, especially truck drivers and all those planes, they're not made for sound factor reason, and these people like doing graffiti write-ups and the matchups in the day when they're used to bad girls to make them look good, they do the same thing with the machines, and I don't know, it's so funny, actually. They're like little rats doing all this stuff, like, it's funny, And the older people, like I mentioned, I work with all of them, They all got a problem inside, to be honest with you. Number one, they don't know how to swim. Number two, they have no idea of studying either. Number three, they have no respect for a lot of reason. And number four, they still have generic diseases. They have a lot of disease problems, which are pretty much the same. And he's like, well, some people could do this, some people could do that. But some people don't choose not to do it, because if you don't have me as a person to all do aside doing all that stuff, and you keep dreaming on about people moving up and stuff, thinking out other ways and other ways around, it has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to be shown anywhere. I don't want to be shown. So, like, once I set foot and it continues on me thinking like that, I guess I made a big difference in their life forever, Without, you don't have to man crush Inca problems, like Tombsday, someone's going to decap, or are they going to be like a patronage of Europeans inviting freaking Pocahontas problems, or $1.25 island shots, or one of those blonde men buying 4-acre land in Florida and setting aside, or what's the other one actually? Last one is actually the rebellion age and something like that. But I still can't really follow the textbook. It's the only thing that this guy always remember. I don't like to read any of the school materials either. It's just so dull. Like, like they try to get me to read Shakespeare books. I'm like, no, I never read any of the books. Here and there, I'd be using Cliff Notes. And even Cliff Notes I don't even want to read, just because of all those headaches. And I don't get along with books here, just because, like, I don't know. People are respective, you know. They're like, I run my business. I don't want people to bother me. Do you think he really thinks about stuff like that when you run a business? I mean, you've been running business for so long that you don't really think about stuff like that either, you know. And in respect to a lot of stuff, they're like, well, you never did this and did that and all this stuff. Well, in all honesty, sir, if a man did all this stuff, what makes you think that there's another man looking at you the other direction and he might fire back at you for making a lot of mistakes and honesty of growing as a person, and you know, like someone got especially slapping Tim in front of him, you know what I'm saying, and making a difference in life has nothing to do with making all these people. And he's like, oh, these people got that, yo. But you know that feeling of that nuisance right now? It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with it's not me, you know. And shout out to these people coming in my house all the time and doing, like, I don't even know who they are. They just come in and out of my house, like, it's crazy. And it's like, it's mad weird because every time they run shit into my own thing, they fail miserably. I'm talking about, like, she almost died, like, trying to run a business around, like, my business and stuff. And I seen a white man struggle in real life trying to run my business and stuff like that. You know, I seen a lot of them struggle and stuff. So it paves a way to say that, you know, other ways around that the person that committed the 9/11 treason and stuff like that by blowing up the Trade Center and stuff like that, it has a reasonable incline and stuff like that in the end, and it justifies the means to end. And they'll always agree with their beast and stuff like that. You know, like their foolish jokes and stuff. You know, they always will agree that it's funny. These white people chose Middle East for their benefactor reason, but there's no benefactoring reason whatsoever, to be honest with you, like from the looks of it. And from my responses are that you know, just try to stay away as much as possible from all those dumb people that are still continue grasping for things that you should not have grasped for. And just shout out to other people out there, especially to my head and the pudge heads. Just avoid all the outcomes of all the problems that you know for a fact might happen, like those death situations. Let's just avoid all of that as much as possible. And lastly, you know, shout out to all my internet, Verizon, all the things I've cable. I've seen a cable since like since I was a kid. Pay-per-view problems, 63, 58, all those problems, and then growing into like in thousands by now. You know, and other problems, vice versa for Korea too, like 4 channels into now like 20 somewhat, like 50 channels by now, and something like that. It's always growing, but it has nothing to do with it, because all the things that all those aspects of being sent and who you are always has to do with the personal growth. And they use those things in retaliation versus what I built for systematic reason, you know. And the less I actually equate with a life of other people versus others of unreasonable reasoning, I find out that unconventional ideas has to do with something unjustified, and that I don't know, I keep saying something else, like the thing is, a highway also trauma, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people all keep running, all these people from the States are all running on basically on trauma. If there are no traumas and all the reactionary problems, they will not go through the same thing or harm others. But you know, those are like jackass for jackass. Let's just avoid all those things, you know, as much as possible. Those jackasses, especially on out there, you know, they deserve to be out in the public right now doing the same thing. But I don't know, for some reason they choose to be behind the scene and being happy and amongst other people. And these white people, like, keep getting up to me. They keep getting up to me, and they know for a reason that they can't get up to me, you know. But it's funny, you know. But anyway, man, I mean, I respect all the books and stuff like that, but you know, and due respect, you know, man, what I'm telling you right now, basically of myself, and the things that others have never done before, is that I'm the first person to do all this stuff, basically, from everywhere, you know, like from a racial point of view, from belief point of view, from ageless point of view, from colorless point of view, from people doing everything else outside. I'm the first person basically to confront all these things, and I want you to understand that what I'm doing in essence versus something else in the analytical minds and stuff like that, I need you to understand that I have deep respect, one of the deepest, profound respect and trust for them, and that at the end I need you to understand some of my dear requests that I have mentioned above, and lastly, it's if I had a problem with something, I never came across anything ideological to say that I had a problem with problems, what problems are, but there are no such thing as problems, to be honest with you. And what I'm doing right now to filter out the rest of the standpoint of my society with no viewers, where people are not really understanding in a way that others should have. I know for a fact that in Aldo and time, it's up to their parents to really conform them instead of themselves always being outside and doing a weird reaction with people and stuff. And there's a reason why the parents are not going to be there for them. It explains the reason for a falter of a lot of things, faults of a lot of human mind and system like that. And there's always an error, actually, to be honest with you, with people that's been adolescent really young. But the kids also have their own strategy to do. Some people are allowed to do it, some people are not. Those people are not, to be honest with you. It's just like, it looks kind of weird. And lastly, you know, like everything conquered and things like, there's no such thing, you know. And others have said something, but what I say to myself, especially to the camera, and what I've learned from all the things here, is that no matter what the outcome of intrusive insight and the people like hithering my life towards the conformed of comfort, rather than going out and moving in a motion of in tiredness and such and so forth, has nothing to do with why I would say no. But, and shout out to all regards and system and people everywhere, just humans, just shout out to humans, especially humans, you know, like all same thing every day. Humans are humans, you know. Just be real, you know. And no matter what, astrology, all that, it's always one-handed punch. No matter what, that's not gonna work either. You know, you could be black, you could be fucking green color, you could be something else. You're still human. You know what I mean? And even aliens, even insects, even birds and animals have the same reason to live. So living life has the same problem as it is in another way, de facto reasoning. As versus a personal quota of not understanding what life is in real life, and altruism and all these things, and just stuck in the water and just traveling all the time, like a turtle versus a rabbit, and a speedy life of a galaxy run versus a life of a slow turtleness on Earth has de facto meaning, rather than someone else's an intrusive way, but it's about the same. And one day they will conquer, in a sense, you say, you know, what others have made outside traversing life of the anomaly. But as a ruler status, from that point I could destruct this whole life in general, basically, just because of my excuses of him leaving and me being personally tightly a little bit greater, as once conformed as said. But as in general, you know, I want you guys to enjoy my view, and even if you don't get to see my video or click in to see it and stuff like that, I'd rather have you sound off in a most logical, fundamental, most positive way. You'll understand who I am. And lastly, like, you know, all the influences, sub-influences, and affect influences of other way, vice versa, counterreactive punctuations and stuff. You know, these like sayings of these people outside of the screen, which anomaly they really don't have a lot of paying attention to, really, in their essence, like not really good of a mannerism, little shyness and a little bit of critique of dramatism, but not really drama, you know, not really criticism. Like, it's a little not understandable, actually, and it's not really criticism, actually, to be honest with you. But as a personal stake and rebound and such and so forth, and moving on to life and other ways around, to supernatural problems, to others and others and others, you know, it really boils down to whether or not you're telling yourself the truth when it comes down. And if you do come down and you say that you have a problem and stuff like that, you know, those loony problems have to do with not really looniness, just because it's just like, it don't make sense, you know. it's not you. It don't look good, you know, and you didn't really come out of a good environment either. So it kind of tells forth of yourself. But let's just avoid all those people, like real problems in the long run, and just give them props for what they're doing in an accomplished way, and something said or so forth. And I'm godly blessed to be with stuckness, basically, with when you reach the point of being with everybody else, and you know for a fact that you're with anybody, one day you will go crazy, and you drive yourself crazy, and you end up throwing yourself, just like, you know, a lot of these artists and stuff and so forth, following the route of others, which should not happen. It should be for a privilege. Yes, it's a fact, you know. And once you make the world go around by an intrusive and internal way, then I'll come in and I'll show you who I am. But until that's going to be accomplished, I can't really tell you whether or not I'll be on camera to show you who I really am in a real run, you know. So just keep that in mind, actually, and we'll go on from there. But I'll talk to you in most other ways around in development and statistic reasoning. It's for my beneficial. Some challenging. Some are going to be negative. Some are going to be positive. Some people are going to be neutral about it. Some are hypothetically an aside to a lot of things, fixated on a motivation what's already made. But try to keep a straight path no matter what, you know, the reasons are, you know, because higher you go, the more you're going to find out, like, how tough life is, and tougher the life lesson learned and stuff like that. You know for a fact the righteous matter will always gain peace inside, and the sleeping discoveries and all these statistical stuff for discovering life in general has nothing to do with why means of discourses had to do with the guy being not telling truth and stuff. And so I have too many audiences in the side right now as a personal outtake of skin color, skin pigment, point of view, or peach colors especially, and a combination of other sending ideological feudal ways of natural estate, like gassing, air, water, estate not being clean amongst others and such and so forth. But good looks, and I hope you understand the nature of all threat, and especially the color life, and everything's about the truth, and the truth is one of the dumbest concepts, actually, to be honest with you, in a real run. It's about the same thing. It's just about why One and Pudge always making things up. I don't have One and Pudge, which I share personal confinement or anything for that matter, especially living with my mom and doing all this stuff. But that's actually a diss, actually, in the long run, you know, in a provocative way. A personal provocateur outside of other reactory life of reasoning would understand the personal outtake of who I am and what I'm trying to accomplish in certain ways and direction. And in that manner format, I actually have my own creole of scientific ways. So until that gets accomplished, a lot of these things, until it gets accomplished, I don't think I'm gonna actually battle out with anything else besides who I am. So shout out to all the people, shout out to the people that I've seen on YouTube, all the videos. I have no review or saying, but even that at best, the criticism will generate itself once everything becomes who you are, in like a team of fathom, a team of dream boredomness, or vice versa, and something else. You know, all these people that are not nice to me, they should not be here every day, you know. They should avoid all those outcomes, and just other people, congratulations to others, and congratulations to me for achieving what you have. And I hope the life of progression and errorness of sharing has to end somehow, one way or another. And once the proof that people move on, you have to have a state that they moved on, you know, instead of always mind-boggling, because it drives a person crazy, actually, in and out. And that's what the state of individualism, freedom, and all these rights do come in, and it's all true at the end. And I just need you guys to pray upon it and think all the rights of people in general, and it will unfold as one of the peaceful things and meaning in life. Alright, man. Good looking, man. Signing off, man. Peace, yo.